All right, awkward situations, part 2. Now, as I've stated before, I tend to be an awkward situation magnet. Isn't that what everybody wants to be in life? Huh? Awkward situations galore, hooray! And if you haven't seen my first video on the subject, go check it out. It's a good one. It's got stories of children crying and objects being inserted into things. Anyways, today we're going to talk about 3 more awkward situations that I've found myself in. Ready, set, go.
Number 1.
All right, so not too long ago, my wife and I took our kids to a trampoline park to see who could get a staph infection the fastest. And I'm hanging out with my daughter in the little kid section that they got there. And she's on top of this slide, kind of having a nervous breakdown. It's just a little too high for her, apparently. And I'm down there like, oh, come on, you can do it. Your dad used to fly down stairs in a laundry basket, for Christ's sake. You can handle a 6-foot slide. Come on. All of a sudden, there's a little girl on a teeter-totter next to me. And out of nowhere, she's just like, play with me, play with me. So naturally, I did what everybody would do in that situation. I ignored the hell out of that child and just hoped she'd go away. But of course, she just keeps on going. Play with me, strange man that I've never met before. Play with me. I'm looking over there, and I'm like, where the fuck is Chris Hansen at? Huh? Is he gonna pop out of here? I'm not fucking doing this shit. What are you, nuts? Now, usually I keep a spray bottle on me for these types of situations, so I can just be like, go on, get! Psst, 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 skedaddle! Get out of here! Leave me alone! But on this day, I was spray bottleless, so I had to figure something else out. And at first, I thought about just like getting on a knee and being like, look, you little fucker, I'm not gonna get on that teeter-totter with you because I don't want to end up on some sort of predator list, okay? I like living within 500 feet of a public school, all right? So fuck off. But, you know, it's kind of frowned upon to swear at a child in a trampoline park, apparently. So instead, I turn and I politely say, little girl, I am not playing with you because I am not your dad, and that would be weird. Now, you'd think that would be the end of it, but, well, this kid starts to lose her shit and starts to be a lot more aggressive all of a sudden. Play with me! Play with me right now, you piece of shit! All right, that's not what she said, all right? But that was the sentiment, okay? That's what it felt like to me. Well, now, parents are starting to look over here. People are starting to freak out. They're thinking there's a situation afoot. Somebody's calling the fucking Rough McGruff hotline and shit. So now I'm just standing there trying to mentally will my child down the slide. Please go down the slide now. Pretty please? Before I have to scissor kick this little girl in the middle of a strip mall? And I don't know if it worked or not, but I swear my daughter was just like, oh, I got you, Dad. Fuck that little psychopath down there. She finally goes down the slide, and we promptly get the fuck out of there. Yeah, to hell with that little girl, and fuck that sting operation they were trying to pull off on me. Ah, darn it, we were so close.
Number 2.
All right, so last year I was at the dentist getting my teeth cleaned, and we're at the part of the appointment that is my least favorite part, and that would be, of course, when they start to scrape your teeth with a big metal sickle, or whatever the fuck they use. Now, I don't know if this dental hygienist was just having a bad day or what, but she was scraping my shit like she was trying to get burnt eggs off a cast iron skillet. It was very unpleasant. It made me second guess going to the dentist. Hell, it made me second guess even having teeth in my head. Just pull them all out and I can just drink smoothies for the rest of my life. God damn. Well, as she's stripping away layer after layer of enamel on all my teeth, my eyeballs start to well up with tears. And I'm sitting there like, am I about to cry right now? Is that what's gonna happen? I'm about to fucking cry in front of this lady? Openly? As a 35-year-old man? What kind of soft-ass little bitch am I? About to cry from getting my teeth scraped. Well, next thing you know, one single solitary tear drips down my cheek. I'm talking daytime soap opera, fucking you had me at hello, Jerry Maguire tear. This lady looks down at me and she's like, sir, are you okay? Now, I'm not gonna be able to bullshit her at this point. I know that. What the fuck could I possibly say at this moment? Oh yeah, I'm all right. I was just, getting sad thinking about the ending of Homeward Bound. You know that movie? You know, when Shadow's down there stuck in the hole and Peter's back at home like, he's too old. The goddamn dog's too old. And then Shadow comes up over the hill like, oh, Peter, I missed you. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I certainly wasn't crying because you were scraping the fuck out of my teeth. No, siree. No. We both know what's going on here, all right? So instead, I just tell her, like, you think you could lighten up? And I kind of feel like my lateral incisor could snap off at any moment. And I shit you not, this lady decides to take her thumb and wipe away my tear for me, like she's the Ryan Gosling in The Notebook, and I'm bitch-ass Rachel McAdams. And then she says to me, oh, it's okay. We're almost done here, you little schoolboy bitch. All right, she didn't say that last part, but she fucking might as well have. Because she didn't have to wipe away the tear, all right? I could have done that myself. I'm a grown-ass man, for Christ's sake. Can't be wiping my tears away like I'm your fucking high school girlfriend. The fuck? So needless to say, when that appointment was over, I got the fuck out of there. Never show my face in that dentist's office again. Oh, there you are. Look, it's the crying man. Hi, crying man. Yeah, to hell with that. No way.
Number 3.
All right, so back when I was 18 years old, I was taking a plane out to Las Vegas to go visit my parents. And I'm sitting there, got my window seat next to 2 old people, nice and comfy. And it's a red-eye flight, so it's the middle of the night, and most of the plane is sleeping. Well, out of all the times to get a nosebleed, this would probably be one of the worst, right? Besides, you know, the fucking public pool episode that I did way back 1,000 years ago. I'd say a red-eye flight with the window seat's pretty bad. So like I said, my nose just starts dribbling blood out of nowhere, and I basically have 2 options at this point. I could A, wake up the old people next to me and go to the bathroom and be an asshole, you know. Or I could B, try to deal with the situation with what I had at my seat. Well, I don't want to be a dickhead with these old people. They are knocked out. They could be dead. They could be dead at this point. I don't know. I didn't have a mirror to put underneath their nose to see if they would fog it up or not. So I go with option B. The only problem is the only thing that I have on me is what the flight attendant gave me right before we took off, which was a fucking Biscoff cookie and a little thin, wispy piece of nothing that Delta Airlines calls a napkin. So naturally, I crammed that little napkin up my nose and, well, naturally, it just makes everything 10 times worse. Yeah, all of a sudden, I start gushing blood down my face. It's very graphic. It's looking like the backseat of a Lincoln Continental back in '63, if you know what I'm saying. Jackie Kennedy's climbing on the backseat and shit. I'm doing the weird hand thing around my neck like JFK did. It's fucked up, all right? At this point, I probably should just wake up the old lady next to me and be like, "Excuse me, ma'am. I know you went through menopause many, many moons ago, but you wouldn't happen to have a tampon I could shove in my face hole, would you?" But instead, I elect to go with the emergency protocol called the Biscoff Cookie Wrapper Last Resort. Now, you might be sitting there like, you didn't try to, like, shove a Biscoff cookie wrapper up your fucking nose like some kind of pervert, did you? You did, didn't you? What a sick piece of shit. Look, I was trying to do the best I could, all right? I indeed rip open this Biscoff cookie wrapper. I dump the cookie on the ground, which indeed I had a sore ass about because goddamn, those cookies are good. And I just want you to imagine that you're on this plane and you look over and you see a grown-ass man trying to cram a very loud, very non-absorbent cookie wrapper up his fucking nose. That really happened. I really did it. I'm a real person making real decisions in this world. Isn't that scary? Thankfully, the flight attendant appears, and she's rightfully like, "Sir, what the fuck are you doing? Do you need some assistance?" And I have the audacity, believe it or not, to say, "No, I'm fine. I have it under control. Thanks anyways." Now, thankfully, they didn't have to ground the plane, and even more thankfully, that flight attendant gave me all the wispy napkins I could handle. Well, you bet your ass, as soon as that plane landed, I got the fuck out of there, and now every time that I fly on an airplane, I make sure I pack a roll of toilet paper and 2 tampons in my carry-on bag. Hooray, hooray, hooray. So that's it. Those are 3 more awkward situations. And if you like this video, well, I'm sure there's going to be another one at some point because last I checked, I'm still the same person, aka the awkward situation magnet. The end.
Brewstew.com